All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you're all enjoying Bitcoin hitting 100K. It feels like a really surreal moment, and I hope those of you that have been in the space for a while, like myself, are taking a moment to appreciate it. But with that being said, I wanted to come on here today and make a video for people who may be new to the space and are feeling a lot of FOMO and are looking for ways to make some money this cycle. As well as just learn how Bitcoin works and how these massive price spikes occur. I'm going to approach this with two separate videos. The first one that you're watching now will be how you can make crazy returns of this cycle on altcoins as alt season approaches, and go through some of the charts that showcase what has happened before, and hopefully the cycle will look similar this time around as well. The second video I will be uploading will be a deep dive into the cyclical nature of Bitcoin, and I'll be trying my best to teach you guys what to study and look for and how you could understand Bitcoin in preparation for the next market cycle we will be having from 2025 to hopefully a top around 2028, and how you could prepare and really stack your sats until then. All right, but with that being said, now let's get into the charts. So here we're looking at Bitcoin USD. And I wanted to go over some things that really showcase why alt season is about to start. And the first thing we really need to look at is the Bitcoin dominance. So for those of you who don't understand, this is basically just the percentage of the cryptocurrency market that Bitcoin represents. And it has rallied to a level of like roughly 60% recently. And we could see that shortly after the halving, it has this period, looking back to the last cycle, we had this period where the halving was on May 11th of 2020. And then for about 240-ish days, we had the Bitcoin dominance really rallying really high. And during this time, Bitcoin price kept going up, it kept going up to eventual top. And we could see that we're currently in a similar phase of the market. Right now we are, just give me a second here. So the halving was on April 20th. I'm not sure why this bar is over here. Just move it a bit. And right now we are about 205-ish days after the halving. And so, and we can see similar things where it seems like Bitcoin dominance has likely topped out. Going back one more cycle just to have another point of reference, we can see that Bitcoin dominance had top before really plummeting roughly around 238, 240, just call it 240 days, where Bitcoin dominance kind of topped out and then started plummeting. And this isn't something to be scared of. Bitcoin will still be going up in the short to medium term. But one exciting thing about that is that this is usually when you see things like Dogecoin and other altcoins really start picking up. So looking back at last cycle, we could see 240 days in, Bitcoin dominance tops out. And if you look at the purple line here, you can see what happened to Doge after Bitcoin dominance popped out. It was going up here, but it was nothing compared to what followed later. This is crazy amounts of return that we're seeing here. And then if we bring that forward to this cycle, we could see similar things. We got Bitcoin dominance really crashing, and we got Dogecoin really picking up. And then, so basically we could use this to see that, Bitcoin dominance is still expected to go like another 20-30% lower. We could see it kind of this red line going all the way down to about here maybe, where we find a local low, using this trend line here. Just a rough estimate of roughly where it could bottom out at. We could see dominance dropping to around here. And during that time, we could see a huge spike in Dogecoin and other altcoins as well. And if we could see how long from the Bitcoin dominance top to the Doge top, we can measure that out, we've got about 128 days, call it. So we got 128 days in which Dogecoin and other altcoins will really have the opportunity to really capitalize on alt season and really start rallying. If we pull out 128 days from this dominance top, that puts us in March. We got basically crazy returns coming for Dogecoin and other altcoins. I tend to like to look at Dogecoin because it has a relatively large market cap at this point. People like looking at the small caps a bit more just because it's a bit easier for the price to go insane. But I feel like there's a bit of security just, with the kind of the status and the knowledge that people have of Doge. I feel like it's very popular and mainstream. Um, and even if you want to be a bit more safer than something that's like that, you could look at ETH USD as well. I think Ethereum, historically last cycle, in the post-halving year, Ethereum really started rallying. It was lagging behind, just like it was now with Bitcoin. We could see, look at this. Bitcoin is rallying and ETH is really not doing much. It's still going up, but not doing much. Similar to how it is occurring this cycle. A lot of people are making fun of Ethereum, saying it's not going anywhere, it's flat. But looking into last cycle, you could see this is roughly around like when Bitcoin was really spiking and Ethereum was doing nothing. But if you just waited a little bit longer, Ethereum really started to pick up in the following year. And here, we can see similar things. Ethereum is really lagging behind Bitcoin. Bitcoin has already destroyed its new all-time highs. Ethereum is still quite a way to go until it hits its all-time high. So that's a huge return that can come over the next following years. So I think basically the long story short is, if you're someone who feels like you've missed out on Bitcoin, you got to look towards something like Ethereum or Doge. I think they will outperform Bitcoin. I still expect Bitcoin to go quite a bit higher. But a lot of money, along with global liquidity coming back, it's going to be get a bit crazy. People will likely want to look for something that's a bit lower price, lower market cap, where they think their price can go a lot higher. People are a bit wary to buy Bitcoin above 100K, which I don't necessarily agree with. But yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunities in ETH, Doge, other altcoins. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. If you have anything you want me to cover, but we're just going to keep it short today. Look towards alts if you want to really capitalize.